All right, hey now, it's the Rob from 106.1 Kiss FM. Not going to wait for this song to finish because our tag team partner in podcasting, Mr. Jerry Valeri, has very limited time to be with us this morning. So we're going to fly right through this as fast as we possibly can. We have a lot to cover.
I don't have to go that quickly, and I didn't hear the song anyway, so this is great. So we're ready to go. There it is.
Yeah, it was there. You just couldn't hear. I didn't have it set up properly for you. I'm sorry. And we don't need to waste any more time on the song. Let's just get started here with our review because we have so much to cover. I've got SmackDown thoughts and obviously our predictions going into the pay-per-view.
Right, and I feel like the pay-per-view, it's a very small and underwhelming card. So I don't think it's going to take us all that long to jump through it.
I'm going to make sure it doesn't take us long to go through it because
I don't have to. I just mentioned that I'd love to get done a little early today. I didn't mean that we were in a rush.
Do you have
a super rush.
A broadcast today or anything?
I don't have a broadcast.
So
not today.
Are you trying to leave the show? Are you trying to quit?
That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to bail you. I'm not going to put you through a barbershop window. We're good. We're a good team right now.
All right. Well, I don't want to take up a bunch of your time. I do have. I made this. I've got a lock.
Oh, you got a very nice lock.
Yeah, mine is. I want to put strings around it to like hang from my neck when I am, in fact, the champ, which I am right now, heading into the next Super Show.
For now, it won't be for long.
Yeah, I don't have time to put strings on it right now, but we'll breeze through this and we'll go ahead and we'll get this started. Jared, did you watch SmackDown?
I did watch SmackDown.
Hey, by the way, before we get started, real quick, very quickly, I want our listeners to stay tuned until the end because I've got information on how some of our regular viewers can get some WWE tickets for the show at the Ford Center here September 17th. In fact, we'll be giving away tickets today on this show.
That's amazing. And if you're listening in Pennsylvania, you're a Pennsylvania viewer, and you win them, I'll drive to Evansville with you, and we'll go and we'll visit Rob and go to the Ford Center.
Are you serious?
No, I'm not going till March. So
okay, that's what I was going to say. Jerry's going to be here in March, but anytime before that was a surprise to me. SmackDown gave me a few things to talk about. I made some notes for SmackDown. Do not let me forget about the tickets, by the way. I need to put a big note on here. Tickets.
I'll remember tickets. I'll remember tickets.
Okay, because we have a unique way of giving these away, I feel like. All right, so if you remember SmackDown, did you watch it on Tuesday?
No way. I watched it Wednesday.
Yeah, I watched it yesterday as well on Wednesday. I thought the opening segment with the divas, and I'm using the word divas literally because that's what most of them were, was cringe-worthy bad.
So much of the show was dedicated to women, and it was bad.
That's one of my notes, too. They were very heavily featured today.
It was bad. It was bad. I can't do it. I can't get into them. I can barely get into the women on Raw, and they're more talented. Like, I just can't.
That's a synopsis, yeah.
That really brought the show quality down for me. When you have a 2-hour show and 45 minutes of it is divas, forget it.
I think that's only because they're trying to make it a big deal for the pay-per-view on Sunday.
Yeah, sucks fest.
All right, so we've got that. I noticed that even when Dolph was on commentary, now even he himself is talking as if he has never won the big one before.
I heard that too. I noticed that. That's weird.
Yeah, because but honestly, it is probably smart to forget about it or try to make the fans forget about it because when he actually does get it, if in fact he does get it, it will maybe make it seem more special. But it's kind of like rewriting history.
Has he ever had the Intercontinental before?
I'm almost positive, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And then I also made the note in that same match. I don't like to write this, but it is true. I do believe Apollo Crews is toast.
Because his smile isn't even up against anybody on the pay-per-view.
No, he's not. But he's just enhancement talent at this point, and he's so big, and he's so agile, and he's so good. I hate what's happened to him. It's such a failure.
See, I had no investment emotionally with him whatsoever. So seeing him and that stupid grin of his go away will be fine by me.
Watching AJ Styles interact with everybody, I made the note that he needs to be champ. He's like the best guy on the roster right now. It's amazing.
He really is. I loved when he broke that guy's phone.
the picture of his family on there, and he's just like watching him be. It's like it's funny in like that wrestling kind of bad guy funny way.
Yeah, like he grabs that guy's phone and you know he's going to break it, and then he breaks it, and it's funny to me.
So I'm going through these so fast. Our co-host Jerry has limited time here, but I've got a few notes I want to get to before our predictions.
Don't have limited time.
As you mentioned, the show is very focused on women. We covered that, so we don't need to spend any more time on that. Oh, here's a good note. Hearing Mauro Ranallo talk about Nicki Minaj's Pink Print 3 style gave me serious douche chills.
Yeah, he stretches a little too much with his
pop culture references.
Yeah, he goes a little too far.
And like even when you have like a guy like Otunga in there who actually feasibly could listen to that, maybe have him make a comment like that if anybody needs to. As someone who works in like pop/hip hop radio, like that didn't make this huge impression on the world of pop culture. I don't think many people would have picked up on that.
I had no idea what he was talking about.
Yeah, I just thought that was a weird thing to say. Usos turned heel and I don't care. Usos turned heel and I don't care. Right? Do we care? I don't care about them.
I think it's a smart way to do it. I think it's a smart way to. I mean, this is going to bleed into my prediction for the pay-per-view, unfortunately.
Damn it, we're going to have the same predictions.
I think on this we are. I think they're doing this, injuring American Alpha, hurting Gable, so that they can get out of that match, and Heath Slater and Rhino could end up winning, whatever. We'll get to that. It makes the Usos look a little stronger as a heel team. I don't know. I could care less about the Usos. I'm more excited that they found a way to get Heath Slater the tag championships. Like, that's the good I get from all of that.
All right, well, we'll get to that in a little bit because I've got thoughts on that.
Do you hate the Usos? Do you hate all Samoans?
I don't hate all Samoans. I love Yokozuna, and might end there. But listen, I don't like when the gimmick is just that you're from a different country, no matter what country it is. But right. every Samoan's gimmick is that they're Samoan. And
wasn't Yokozuna Japanese?
Well, his character was, but he was one of the Samoans.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
gotcha.
like not the tag team, but he was from that family of. I mean, his name was Rodney Anoa'i. You know, all those guys are Anoa'is.
Oh, that's super Japanese.
All I know is Anoa'i. I'm not a big fan of that family.
I know why. His name is Roman. Don't get me started.
Line of the night last night. I bet you a lot of people didn't catch it. Line of the night went to Fandango when he was arguing with that annoying woman who was so annoying.
She was the worst, and he was talking about, you have no fire? What did he say?
His line was, quote, "Your hips are full of lies." Referencing the Shakira song. So I thought that was funny. I want to mention that. I'm actually going to consider Fandango and Tyler Breeze possibly one of the beneficiaries of the brand extension, but the time will tell. We're too soon to tell that, but I believe that they will get a little fire coming up here pretty soon.
I care more about them as a tag team than I do the Usos.
Yeah, me too. Exactly. I know I care more about the Breeze Dango than I do the Anoa'is.
I know I do.
All right, having Heath Slater's kids at ringside was a nice touch, I thought.
Brilliant, and it took up a whole row.
Yes, that was great. I could not be less excited about Kurt Hawkins' return.
Chuck Norris? You mean Chuck Norris, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's just not funny. Wasn't funny 10 years ago, and now it's just not funny and stale. I don't get what they're going to do with it. And not only that, let's remember, this whole thing is to hype Kurt Hawkins, who's not like anything to write home about in the ring.
I saw one today that they could steal. Since they've stolen all the other ones, Chuck Norris caught all the Pokemon with a landline. So let's have Kurt Hawkins steal that one too. Why don't we?
You still playing that Pokemon, by the way?
I am. I'm running through. I'm doing okay. Not as much as you, I don't believe, but my son likes it, so we play.
What level are you on?
15.
23.
Oh, I'm a rookie.
All right, and then I actually feel like heading into the main event segment, I feel like they really haven't given us a lot of substance in this AJ versus Ambrose feud. Although I do want to note they're both doing really great work. I feel like Ambrose, maybe it was the Austin podcast, I don't know. I feel like he stepped things up since that podcast.
Yeah.
I think that he's being the Ambrose I wanted to be, kind of like that crazy Roddy Piper-like character. There really isn't much of a feud for me to sink my teeth into, though, for this.
Yet.
Right.
I don't think these guys are done with each other just yet. I hope not. I'm having a really hard time picking that match. That was going to be a tough one for me to pick.
Yeah, I wrote down my predictions last night and I changed things this morning, but I do have a strong prediction for that. Remember, I hope people are staying tuned because after the show today, we're giving away tickets.
I didn't even know we were doing this. This is great.
Know. Yeah, I just found this out yesterday. I actually had the tickets. So some of our listeners will leave the broadcast today with tickets. So stay with us. Now
what kind of show is it in Evansville? Is it a house show, SmackDown, Raw?
It looks like it's going to be a Raw house show September 17th at the Ford Center.
That's awesome. Great show.
Yeah, so stay tuned for that. So that's coming up here in a little bit. Let's talk about the pay-per-view, please. Let's
get to it. You have the list of matches in front of you, correct?
Yeah. Do you want to start at the bottom and work our way to the big matches?
Yeah, let's do like Drake. Let's start at the bottom, and now we're here.
Okay, we'll do that. Jerry Valeri making a Drake reference.
Ooh.
He must pick up that Nicki Minaj Pink Print 3 style CD. He must have it in his CD player in his car, that Jerry Valeri.
I do. Thank you, Morrow.
Nikki Bella takes on Becky Lynch, taking on Carmella, Natalya, Alexa Bliss, and Naomi, Mr. Valeri, who wins the very first SmackDown Women's Championship.
I will say this, for all the criticizing I'll do about the Divas Championship, and that's what it is. I like Naomi's entrance. I think it's awesome.
I agree.
I think it's absolutely awesome. It's not going to help her win the belt. There's no way it's going to be Carmella. They gave her the win the other night to make us think it was going to be her. I feel like it's either going to be Becky Lynch or Nikki Bella.
That's who I had it down to, but I made a choice.
And so I'm going to make a choice, and I'm going to say Nikki Bella is going to get it.
Good, because I've got Becky Lynch.
Okay, there we go.
All right, perfect. All right, and then the Usos taking on the Hype Bros. Of course, this is filling the vacated spot left by an injured Chad Gable of the American Alpha. I believe it's a work injury. I'm not positive.
It's definitely a work.
Yeah.
It's only 2 to 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And then they worked over the leg and stuff. This is totally a work, and I'm into it. Am I going first on these? I don't mind that.
I don't mind. I mean, who do you think?
I think the Usos will win that match.
Without a doubt. Yeah, this is setting them up to be some sort of heel tag team, and that's cool. It gives them some personality at least.
Right.
So then the winner of that match is taking on Slater and Rhino.
Yes.
Who do you have there?
I think Slater and Rhino are going to win the tag championship. Slater gets a spot on SmackDown, and it's because American Alpha will interfere and shank over the Usos. I think they're going to get help from American Alpha, who's not going to go quietly into the night, and that'll be that. And then you'll have a number one contender blood feud between the Usos and American Alpha while Slater and Rhino do their thing, I think, for a bit.
This is great because our rationale is the same, but the Usos are going to win.
You think?
Yeah. I mean, my official prediction is the mystery team, whoever it happens to be, but I think it's going to be the Usos. And I think your rationale is right on. I think it's going to set up a feud between Usos and American Alpha.
Well, that's what I said, right? I said the Usos and American Alpha are going to have like a number one contender fight.
Oh no, I think it'll be a title fight.
Oh, okay.
And I think that this will continue Slater's angle to try to seize a contract.
Okay.
So
I can see that, but I really feel like they're giving it to Slater here at Backlash.
This was another one. I wrote down if we would have recorded this last night, I would have said Slater and Rhino. In fact, even on my show this morning, if anyone was listening, I said Slater and Rhino when I was giving away the WWE tickets this morning. I said I think Slater and Rhino are not going to win it because my trivia question this morning had to do with this tournament.
Okay.
But since then, I believe that it makes sense. Here's what I see happening. I see the Usos beating Slater and Rhino because it still gives Slater that opportunity to continue this angle, which people are loving, let's be honest.
Right.
And then if the Usos win this, what a heel way of winning. you know, using dirty tactics to remove American Alpha from the tournament, then coming back to win it, hence setting up an immediate feud with American Alpha, who's returning in 2 weeks. Like, that's not an injury.
Right.
You know?
Boy, I'm locked in. I gave my pick, but I can see why you're going to be maybe right.
Yeah. By the way, I'm sorry, I've forgotten all the locked in sound effects, but yes, we have locked in on several so far. So there.
All right, there it is. And we disagree on 2 of the 3 we've talked about.
That's right. It's a small show. It feels like, I mean, there's only 6 matches that I've got.
Exactly. That's all I have. I'm sure they're going to throw Apollo Crews and his dumb grin and maybe Baron Corbin and Kane in there somewhere, but they're not official matches.
Like, I mean, honestly, if you would have told me this was the rundown for any old SmackDown, I'd believe you.
Yeah.
You know, but that's the thing is, like, when you have 19 pay-per-views every year, some of them are going to feel like SmackDowns. That's almost as many SmackDowns as you have. You know, honestly, what you have 52 SmackDowns? Honestly, like there's not much difference.
Right.
All right. Intercontinental Championship. The Miz taking on Dolph Ziggler. This is one that's really tough for me to call.
I'm going to tell you, I think the Miz is going to do it. I think that they see the Miz has teeth now, and they're setting up a longer thing with Daniel Bryan that I don't know how they're going to ever end it, since Daniel Bryan can't wrestle unless that's the trick at some point. The only thing that gives me pause is they would be completely burying Dolph Ziggler 2 title shots in a row.
Would it not feel really weird for him to be in the title match at SummerSlam, 3 weeks later be in the Intercontinental title match and lose both of them?
Right.
That's why I've got Ziggler winning.
I get that rationale, but I think that they actually have something hot with Miz right now. And I wouldn't have said that 3 weeks ago. And I wouldn't have said that. But Miz with that belt, he's good to carry the belt. I think he keeps it.
It's not because he can't. I just feel like, man, it'd be so weird for this fall for Ziggler. So, yeah, we're locking in. Another disagreement. I've got Ziggler and Valeri has Miz. I have no confidence in my choice on this one.
Okay.
2 more matches to get through, and then you're free to do. I hope it didn't take up too much of your time. But
shut up.
So we'll just get through these real quick. Randy Orton taking on Bray Wyatt. Really nothing at stake.
Randy Orton's going to get the win back that he sacrificed at SummerSlam.
All right. So I'm sorry. You said Orton.
Orton's going to get it. Yeah.
I have that too, and this is a shame because Bray needs this.
They both do, and I think Bray needs it more, but they're going to give it to Orton.
That's the thing. You can't have Orton return and then lose 2 big matches like this. But then again, I would say you can't have Bray lose 20 big matches in a row, but they have.
But they have, like that. Until they show me otherwise, I have no confidence in their confidence in Bray Wyatt.
Which is so sad because he never did anything wrong. The crowd is still into him, but he needs something going for him, man.
Right. He needs to start winning these feuds where he claims to be a god.
All right, last match, main event before we do our ticket giveaway. Dean Ambrose defends the heavyweight championship against AJ Styles.
Right.
What do you think?
This was tough.
Yeah, in fact, this is another one I have a different answer this morning than I did last night.
Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and I'm not going to be happy when I'm right, but I'll be happy if I beat you because of it.
Now, remember, when we do these prediction episodes, we decided last time when it involves the title matches, whoever leaves with the title, not necessarily who gets a victory.
Dean Ambrose will be leaving with the title.
Agreed.
I don't want it. I think AJ Styles needs to be champion, and I don't think this feud is over by a stretch. I think that they need to keep these two going at each other and build it and make it more intense and make it really mean something by Survivor Series.
Look, there's one thing that we haven't mentioned, and that's where I think this is where the Cena card's going to come in. Cena's not anywhere on this card. There's no reason for him not to be. I think he's going to interfere in this match, cause a schmoz ending, and maybe AJ will win by disqualification, but Dean will leave with the belt.
Right. And I agree with that wholeheartedly. Now that we're locked in, I'm going to tell you some insider information. Are you ready?
By the way, we are, as Jerry mentioned, locked in.
Locked in. Here's the insider information, and it was ultimately what made me finally decide to go with Dean Ambrose.
Okay.
On September 25th, and I understand that cards are subject to change, but on September 25th in State College, Pennsylvania, right here in Happy Valley where I'm sitting, formerly known as Viperville.
Do you want a drum roll?
There is a SmackDown house show, and the matches, the main events are as follows. Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt. You have AJ Styles versus John Cena, and Dean Ambrose just defends the championship against Dolph Ziggler.
Well, it's huge. That's something.
So, like, Ambrose has the belt on September 25th, according to these promos.
Breaking news.
I feel like it's breaking. Like, now, is that normal? Would they fake us out like that until after this pay-per-view and then change all the ads? Maybe.
Oh yeah, I mean ours just got changed. Ours had superstars from both shows, and then just got changed to a bunch of Raw guys.
Okay, so I mean it could change.
Absolutely, yeah.
But AJ Styles versus John Cena tells me that you're probably right with Cena showing up at some point.
Yeah, that's still, I didn't even realize that, but yeah, my thought is just with Cena being absent from the card, otherwise, I think he's going to interfere and cost AJ the match, or at least cost him the title,
So do you think the Cena-AJ feud, that's going to continue, and then Dean's going to have nobody again?
Maybe Dean will have Ziggler. I don't know. I don't feel like Dean has anybody right now. I mean, he's got AJ, but there hasn't been anything there. AJ's been feuding with Cena. I
think they should give him Apollo Crews. I think it should be Dean Ambrose and Apollo Crews for the title.
You know what? Honestly, it's not a terrible choice. All right, I know you're in a rush. So what we disagreed on Intercontinental Championship. We disagree about the Tag Team Championship, and we disagree about the women. So is it just 3, or am I missing one?
Okay, so we had those 3. What did we agree on? We agreed on one of the tag matches.
We agreed on Usos. Yeah.
Yeah, we agreed on
Orton winning.
And
we agree on Ambrose leaving with the title.
Yeah, so it's 3 and 3 right there. And with the tiebreaker being the CM Punk match on Saturday night.
The tiebreaker is in fact the CM Punk match. Jerry has Punk losing. I have Punk winning, and I really want him to lose. Do not mistake this for me wanting Punk to win.
And it's funny because I have him losing and I want him to win.
Okay. Did you know much more about UFC than I do? I certainly concede that fact. Before we wrap things up, I do have tickets to give away to the WWE show at the Ford Center just 9 days from now, September 17th. And I was told, do whatever you want to do with these tickets on Post to Post. So I don't have a lot of time to do like a contest with like a keyword or whatever. And I just wanted to do this as a way to say thank you to some people. Now, I know we have a good bit of regular viewers, but there's some that do a lot to kind of stand out.
The key word is Anawane.
Is what? Anawai?
What's the stupid last name?
Anawai.
The key word is Roman Reigns sucks.
It's like ANOA''I is like their last names.
The key word is believe that.
So basically, what I wanted to do is say thank you to a lot of the people who help us with this.
Yeah.
And there's some that are very much, they share the podcasts, or if nothing else, will at least interact with the podcasts on a regular basis. And there's a bunch of those. So, of course, I need to give Steve a pair because Steve used to host this show. And
Steve is like our fact-checking.
Right.
He's our backup.
I have my phone charging, but he sent messages. I want to see what he's sent so far. Hold on. Steve says.
I hope he said something mean, and then you take the tickets away.
Why did he say Ed Valeri?
Oh, see?
No, I'm kidding. He wrote Nikki Bella. He wrote, Brian will help Ziggler win it, and he has AJ winning the title. Interesting. Well, Steve, since you're our fact checker, you're a former host of the show, you're a guy who shares it every week. No contest necessary. You got yourself a pair of tickets. Congratulations.
There it is.
You feel that's right. It's a good thing to do, right?
Well deserved. Absolutely well deserved.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I don't want, so there's that. I know Mike Virgin is a guy who is always interacting on these things. He's a guy I like a lot, always has opinions, writes like an essay every time he watches the video, so I know he watches these things front to back.
I look forward to his opinion because even if I don't agree with it, and half the time I don't, but he always gets the conversation started after.
Yeah, and I appreciate that, and I know you watch every episode, so Mike, I want to give you a pair of tickets.
Yeah, Mike.
And okay, so I couldn't give. There's a guy named Joseph who shares us every week, but Joseph has already won tickets from us on the air, and we have a 30-day policy. But Joseph, I want to say thank you. Had you not won from us on air already, I'd have given you a pair of tickets. But I know you're good. You're golden. So I want to say thank you. I didn't forget about you, and that's that.
Perfect.
Other regular listeners are in Pennsylvania, like Kevin.
Kevin and Tony just started listening, and they can't win.
Correct. They're not going to make it to the Ford Center in downtown Evansville. So a big thank you to you guys for always watching and participating and stuff like that. But I know you can't make it down to the Ford Center for a house show. So I didn't want you to think I forgot about you guys. And then there's a guy named Benny, who I've never met before to my knowledge. If I did and I've forgotten, I'm sorry.
Benny Calhoun? I've seen him write on
correct
feedback too. Okay,
correct.
Good.
And watches all the time. I don't know if he's a friend of Mike's or not. If I've met him in person and I don't remember, I don't know, but he's obviously a fan of wrestling. Will appreciate these tickets, and a third pair of tickets going to Benny, as long as he hasn't won on the air from us. This is all provided many people have won on the air from us in the past 30 days, I guess.
Right. Don't be a prize pig, but congratulations.
Right. So, do you think I did a good job with that?
I think that's awesome. You're rewarding people for their loyalty, and I want to find a way to keep rewarding them for their participation in the future, because I like the post show.
Yeah, the post show. Post 3 post.
Yes, I love the post 3 post.
So
good.
All you guys got to do is shoot me a Facebook message. It's Steve, it's Benny, and it's Mike Virgin, Steve Henning, obviously, and Benny Calhoun. You guys, thank you for all you do. Shoot me a message. I'll let you know what you can do to claim your prize. You will need to get down here at some point to pick them up here in Evansville, next week, obviously. But that's what I didn't want to do a contest. I just wanted to say thanks.
And then next week we'll do Monday. We'll be back, right?
Yeah, I guess Monday and Tuesday we'll have an episode, and maybe Thursday again too if we can.
Sounds good. And then at some point in the next 2 weeks, we'll have to do our next prediction show for the Clash of Champions. I'll be doing it from the Magic Kingdom.
Are you serious?
I'll be trying my best to do this much shorter, of course, but probably from like the line of Space Mountain or something.
I know your time is valuable. That's why I'm not going to waste any more of it. I appreciate you giving it to me this morning. Thank you, everyone. Congratulations to everyone who got some tickets this morning like that. I thought that was pretty cool.
I think that's great. You are a wonderful person, a gentleman and a scholar, Rob.
I'm fit to be right up there with Jack Gallagher or the stupid tag team, the Vaudevillains.
Yeah. You need a mustache that you can, twirl.
Listen, Jerry's got to go, so thank you, everyone, for watching, and we will chat later on.